Oh, okay, so this is so close. We saw the spam, we saw the rockets. Unfortunately, we did sidestep it just a little bit, but that's okay. We still get an all right amount of energy. 10 is not the best, but it's better than 0. Mm, let's look at this bubble here. I think you were trying to shield somebody else. This isn't my favorite bubble because I'm considering the situation, right? Like Genji is in your backline, but he doesn't have like a clear target. We're just kind of reacting really quickly. I don't. Maybe you have better eyes than me, but me viewing it, I personally can't assess how like quickly enough what this Genji is trying to do. Like everyone on our team gets grenaded. He dashes through, but like who is he gonna shoot at? Like our Ana's right here. I think this is a Lucio right there, and he hasn't yet like picked a target, if you know what I mean, and then I would have barriered that target. Again, so I think you had the right idea here. It just, everyone is so close together, it does get tossed onto Reinhardt, which isn't the worst thing, just now that is on cooldown, so we need to, have that in mind going into this fight. Mm, let's see here. Anna shot one taser or excuse me, one round at us, and we barrier, which is a little bit preemptive, especially because she missed. Fortunately, the enemy Reinhardt does throw a fire strike like the exact moment we barrier, so that worked out. I remember to thank your healers, guys. You got slept. Your Anna keeps you up, and whoever woke you up is like this Reinhardt's like, damn it, man, why'd you wake them up? I was ready to kill them. Like whoever woke you up just saved your life. All right, so this is almost a good reload, and here's why. So you're shooting, you're shooting. So right here, right here, right when the blast clears on your screen, there's no one around, and I think you wait. Yeah, see, you're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting. Then right as you turn the corner, you reload, and this you want to reload before you turn the corner, right? So if we just go back like a few seconds, that's when you wanted to reload. That barrier was good, right? Another reason to have health bars on have health bars on as Zarya. Our Genji is sitting at I don't know 30 HP, so this is a barrier that's just going to get him out of this fight. It's not necessarily going to give our Zarya energy, but it's hopefully, fingers crossed, going to save his life. Good personal shield, right? The Zarya is fighting us. She's in our face. We want to use that personal shield to give us energy, save ourselves. This reload is fine. This reload here is fine because we're watching right. Look at the screen, right? We are backing away from the enemy team. We don't have our own barrier. There is an object between the two teams, so this reload's fine. I'm hoping you cleanse your Reinhardt here so your Anna can heal him up. Oh, beautiful. So good. Pause a second for a question. Pants Man, who is playing in this game, says, "I want to ask you a question. I keep going by the left instead of following my Ryan and the team on the right. Should I do that or should I follow the team?" Okay, so for that, it depends on the two team compositions. In this case, I would rather you be with your Ryan. That way you can enable him to be more aggressive. Not that you can't barrier him by standing over here, but when you are standing over here, maybe he gets charged and you like. Here, let's just go back so we can, look from that vantage point. Okay, so, right, almost there. Okay, so let's say this is where we're standing, right? And let's say our Reinhardt's, fighting right here, which is about true. Our Reinhardt's kind of close. Let's say our Reinhardt's, oops, excuse me, is right here. So if something happens where this Ryan, like, charges our Ryan, you'd have to step through this door to bubble him, and what this does is it puts your back to the entire enemy team, right? They can now just focus you instead of focusing Ryan. So if you just play behind your Ryan, you can, enable him to get a charge per se. You can spam out, their front line, spam out their shield, and those are all things you can do from this position. But the moment you have to rotate to your team, you either have to go this extremely risky way through the point and that the enemy team controls, or you're going to have to retreat back the way you came. And retreating back the way you came is going to put a big wall between you and the team for about 2 seconds, and a lot can happen in those 2 seconds. All right. Okay. I hope that answered your question. Probably could have waited on this personal shield right here just a little bit. The Zarya is charged, but you wait for her to shoot at you before you use this personal shield. You are at 72 energy, so you can afford to hold this. You do have a bunch of health. So just a little bit of a timing issue right here. Again, I'm going to commend you for using your whole magazine. So we talked about that reload there, which was good. We're fighting the Zarya. Even though she dips around this corner, we still have enemies in our face, right? We've got Ana and Lucio right here. And our Zarya does the right thing. She turns, uses her entire magazine with her high energy, and then reloads. Beautiful, right? The Fire Strike comes through along with your damage, and you clean up the Ana. Alright, so this barrier right here, normally I would not be a fan of this barrier because A, you can't see what's happening beyond this wall, and maybe there's no one there and you can hold it, and B, he's relatively healthy. But the reason this barrier is okay is because we just won the fight. If we remember, we just killed Ana, we just killed Lucio, we just killed Zarya, and I think Genji is over here fighting right now. So we've won the fight. We can be liberal with these barriers. We can be someone give me a better word for liberal. I keep saying liberal with my barriers, but there's got to be a better word for it. I don't want to say careless either. Anyway, we can use our barriers in these types of situations because by the time something does happen, we will get the barrier back. Our Genji lost the Genji duel. Unfortunate. By the way, this is good again, good spam eating. This Zarya player recognizes we're in a poke phase, right? We did just clean up a bunch of people. He pops out, gets the energy, and then falls back. Another thing to note about this game is the enemy team doesn't have a Roadhog. So when the enemy team doesn't have a Roadhog, your barrier focus is now mainly on your front line because squishies, if they're positioning well, they're not just going to be dying randomly, right? They should be playing behind your Reinhardt, and if Genji dives in, he'll pick a target and then you barrier that target. Or if someone ults, they'll be hitting someone and you barrier that target. But in between fights involving ults, your main focus is going to be on the Reinhardt because he's the one taking the brunt of the damage from the enemy team. He's the one getting slept or charged or anything like that. And it's always important to note how to play Zarya when there's no Roadhog, because Zarya into Roadhog is always really good. It's obvious what to do when you're playing Zarya versus Roadhog, right? You barrier targets he pulls. But when there is no Roadhog, what do you do? And what we're seeing in this game is a good example of what to do when you're playing and there is no Roadhog on the enemy team. Good job holding your personal shield this whole time. Right, you're waiting for them to shoot at you. This Ryan does bait you pretty well though. He swings with his hammer and you think he's tossing a fire strike. That's just a good play by him. Just something to just be cautious of in the future. He baited you pretty hard there. And if you're a Reinhardt player and you watch this, that's something you can do. You can swing your hammer to make them think you're fire striking. I appreciate that you did not bubble your McCree there. He was hurt. He was about 100 health, but you saw he was exiting the fight. He's getting a health back. He's going to be fine. So good job holding that barrier. Alright, so this barrier here, let's see, what do we see as the Zarya when we look at Lucio? So we see him, he's definitely getting focused, right? We see Soldier. I think this little red blurb there is a Genji. So if I'm assuming this is Genji, and both the DPS are looking at our Lucio. So again, that is a good barrier there. Oh, your Reinhardt whiffed. Alright, good sound barrier by our Lucio. Ooh, okay. and if you're the team that just got smashed, that's okay because right, perfect, right? I was just about to say that. Our Zarya is smart, right? Look at the ults they used. Um they used Graviton, Dragon Blade, Soldier ult, Nano Boost. So they used four ults. They still have Sound Barrier, it looks like. Ult tracking is such an important skill, guys. Ooh, this is probably good here. No, actually, this is worse for your team because your Genji probably has Dragon Blade, and we know that theirs does not. So actually, this trade is in their favor. Perfect job eating the spam again. You walk forward. You see this. You see the spam with your own two eyes. You see the damage that they cannot stop tossing your way, and you eat it. Beautiful. You're gonna end this fight with 40 charge. This projected barrier though, this one's a little risky, and the reason this is more okay than it would be in a different game is one, like I said before, there is no Roadhog, right? So we can get away with this. It's not like we'll barrier him here and Roadhog's gonna walk through this door and like hook someone. That's not gonna happen because there's no Roadhog. But the reason that this is risky is because look at the two front lines, right? Our front line's here, their front line is right here. So we are very, very close to each other, and as you already established, the enemy Reinhardt does have Earth Shatter. So if let's say when this barrier expires, let's say the Reinhardt Earth Shatters and he actually hits your Rein. Let's pretend you'll be okay because you hide this corner or you have your own barrier. You're gonna wish you had barrier to toss on your knockdown Rein because the enemy Rein is just gonna charge him. But the main reason why I don't like this is because the two lines are so close to each other. Something else is gonna happen, I feel, and you're gonna wish you had the barrier for that than you do right now. This is like a selfish barrier. Like I want energy going into this fight. Maybe that's not the mindset you had, but that's how that barrier is gonna play out. See, look, that is exactly what I was talking about, right there. If you still had barrier, you could have bubbled your Rind and enabled that charge. Now, part of it is communication. Ryan, I have a barrier. If you're gonna charge, and I'll bubble you. Or if you had just bubbled him, Ryan, I just bubbled you. I have no bubble for 8 seconds. At least your Ryan now can make the intelligent decision of, okay, I don't have a barrier. Should I still charge, yay or nay? And then now it's up to the Ryan to make that decision. But as the Zarya player, that like this barrier is, we see it just unfold. These 5 seconds are unfolding right before our eyes. The consequence of barriers like that, and the player is asking in chat, this is what I was talking about. I went up left instead of following my team. If I followed them, I would have probably waited with the barrier. I don't know if following him was the problem. Like, if you buried him here because you were splitting from the team, then yes, I wouldn't toss out barriers just based on my positioning. And like, this is a normal situation. If it's like win or lost fight situation, that's a different story. But like in a normal fight, like, hey, I'm going here, have a barrier. That's not the right mindset to have, right? We want to make sure every barrier we do makes an impact. Like even if you followed your team here, it's not going to make a difference because like you already used the barrier. Like you don't even have your own shield. The only difference between you standing here and up here is now you're going to be earth shattered also. Right? Because you were following him. I kind of see it in your gameplay now that you mention it. You barriered him and then you're like, "Okay, I'm going to dip over here." But still, right with that barrier, I know I've said it twice already, but we see it just right in front of us, the consequence of barriers like that, right? Our Ryan charges without a barrier, then he gets knocked out. Our whole team gets Earth Shattered. I mean, the first thing is Reinhardt should not be charging an enemy Reinhardt that has Earth Shatter. That's just, unwise. So that part of it is on the Reinhardt 100%. But the main thing is he was going to land this charge, right? This charge was going to land, and if he just had that barrier, this is a different situation. You're getting good energy because Soldier was shooting you, so that's a plus. And you're getting out of this fight with your energy. So, I mean, we recognize the mistake, but From the fallout of this fight, our Zarya player does make the most of it. And so, by the way, you coming down right here, this is exactly what I was talking about. Right? You have to come down into the point, turn your back to the enemy team, right? Soldiers peppering you. If they had more DPS, they might kill you. Fortunately, you do have a shield, so you do get a bunch of energy. But the point is, if you didn't have this shield, you were just going to get focused down. Right, so like I said, you're coming through here. You took 200 damage in the span of like 2 steps. And that's why I was saying it's better to stay with your team, you know, come through this door with your team than to split off like that. If your whole team goes this way, you know, that's fine. But when you split off like this, you're breaking line of sight with some members, especially the ones, you know, behind this wall. You have to enter through the point, turn your back to the enemy team, and, you know, you take all this damage, you get the energy for it, and as I was saying, the Zarya makes the most of it. She exits this fight with 70 energy, which is a great place to be in. We're going to re-enter this fight with that energy. Wow, your Genji made a huge mistake. 2 people dead, Genji's by himself and he Dragon Blades, that's a mistake. Again, no communication. Your Ana could have nanoed him maybe, you could have put a bubble on him. But again, this is neither of your guys' faults. This Genji is just misplaying pretty bad. Now remember, they just gave you your life with all this energy. Don't throw it away. So right here, we're seeing some tempered aggression, right? We've got some charge, we've got a barrier. You know, as Zarya, we think we're relatively okay because we have this barrier, we have this charge, and we saw our Ana is right behind us. However, if the enemy team was a little bit faster, right, Lucio speed boosts, and everyone just piles into you, this 200 HP barrier is not going to save you. Oh man, you are so lucky you got out there. Ooh, frontline grab. So, as Zarya, let's talk about this grab. A couple of things to note. You know how our Genji misplayed just the fight before when he went in all by himself? That did accomplish one important thing. The enemy Lucio used sound barrier, and I believe that our Zarya knows that the sound barrier is down, and so she sees a good opportunity here to use this grab. So a couple of reasons why this grab is good. Number one, I don't see a Genji in front of us, so there's no chance for it to be reflected. Number two, Reinhardt just charged, so he has no way to escape. Number three, this Zarya just used her personal shield, and she's not going to have a way to protect herself. Number four, we have our team with us, right? Our Reinhardt is right here. We've got some allies right here. So we're in a good spot, and if I haven't said it already, the sound barrier is down. So we're going to catch at least 3 members, both tanks, and a Lucio. Alright, between these 3, who's the priority? Reinhardt just used Earth Shatter, so he's a bit less of a priority. Lucio does kind of small healing, so he's a bit less of a priority there. I'd honestly say the Zarya is the priority. She's probably the closest to her ultimate between these 3 people. If you kill her, you can snowball the advantage into killing Rein. Because if you try and kill one of these 2, Zarya will just bubble them, making it that much more difficult. But if you focus her, she's going to go down because she has no shield. So again, we see this grab come out. We saw a beautiful reload right before the grab, so that was another plus. So what launches us back, honestly? Is that the Lucio boop launching us this far back? That is like highly unfortunate because, you know, what the Zarya wants to do is, you know, rotate through this shield, right? Like we talked about in the advanced guide. You want to rotate through the shield, make this Reinhardt point his shield either this way or that way. Yeah, if we see here, we see the little circle here. This is the enemy Lucio booping us, and since we were jumping, he gets a lot of value out of this boop. So pretty unfortunate for us there. I believe our Reinhardt, though, and this is what I said about having your teammates there, having the follow-up. Our Reinhardt is going to obliterate this grab, man. He's going to get so many swings off, so much damage, get his Earth Shatter. Again, that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? No sound barrier, the Zarya dies, this Reinhardt, he's getting healed up now, this Genji dashes in, he has no reset, so now this Genji is the target focus. Ooh, break the shield for your Reinhardt. Your Reinhardt gets a great pin. Again, so these bubbles we're seeing now, right after this Genji dies, we have entered a we have won the fight situation, because right? So now we can be more as Pantsman said he suggested the word generous. We can be more generous with our bubbles. Now, is this bubble still a good bubble? Yes, it is. It's enabling our Reinhardt to charge in. He won't get slept, and he secures his kill. It's still a good bubble. We're at 92 charge. We are a monster right now. We're going to kill this Ana. We are going to kill this soldier. You know, they're a bit far, so we're going to start off with a grenade, close the distance. We'll get our shield back by the time they try and retreat. We'll push into them and we'll kill them. That's what should happen here, right? So that's like I was saying, we're pushing in, we're pushing in. There was an opportunity for a reload right here, right here. You could have reloaded just because you're rotating around this and Ana's rotating the other way, and you're at 30 ammo. Just a small thing, but still you get the kill. There's a good reload there, right? No one's around. You know, that was, again, you know, this game has really showcased what good Zarya play looks like. I mean, we saw the one mistake which cost them the one fight, but again, not wasn't all on you. Your allied Reinhardt did make a huge misplay charging into a Reinhardt with Earthshatter, but you know, on the whole, this has been a really solid play from the Zarya player we are reviewing. Again, I'm going to commend you again for not using your barrier here to eat this Fire Strike. You know, you could eat this Fire Strike, right? But look at the value. We are at, what, 89 energy? If we barrier this Fire Strike, we get 11 energy. And, you know, as I've talked about before, that is just not worth a projected barrier. So again, good job not falling for it, not burying the Reinhardt there. So again, we're doing this thing again where we're kind of splitting off from the team. When we stand right here, yes, we have an angle on the enemy team, which is not a bad thing. You know, it's a good thing to have an angle on the enemy team. But what we're doing is we are cutting our eyes from our team. You know, if this Reinhardt charges, and let's say he gets, there's that little stand right here. Let's say he charges, oops, our Ryan into the stand. By the time we like rotate around this corner to try and look for the barrier, he's gonna get hit into that stand. So just, you know, this just be careful with this. Like where you are now is a bit better because you're much closer to the corner, right? Right. We like this is the stand I'm talking about, by the way, right? If our Reinhardt had charged, the enemy Reinhardt had charged our Reinhardt into this wall, and we were so deep into this like corridor, there is no way we're gonna reach our Reinhardt in time. So again, just be careful with stuff like look. That like imagine if he had landed that charge and we were still in that corridor. Fortunately, that's not the case, but again, just keep that in mind. Be careful with your positioning. Oh, this is a good bubble on Genji, by the way. I know it looks kind of funny, but our Genji had just jumped off the wall and it looked like he was gonna fall down into the pin like happened on Garden. Fortunately, though, he does not get pinned, and I can't really fault you for this bubble. It's such a small window of opportunity to bubble someone falling into a charge. So, good job there. Good job on that bubble. Ooh, your Reinhardt gets a beast Earthshatter because the enemy Reinhardt charged. Good barrier there. Oh, unfortunately, why didn't your Lucio sound barrier? That is my real question here. Right here, the I've got you in my sights. Why isn't he sound barriering? Right, 68%, that's unfortunate. If he had sound barriered, he would have saved your Reinhardt and you. Just kind of a misplay by him. I don't know where he's standing right here with, oh, he doesn't have it, guys. I'm dumb. He's so close to watch. He gets him like the next second. See, look, he just got it. So I take back what I said. That's unfortunate. He just got the sound barrier. This reload here, it's not a huge deal because you guys haven't engaged upon each other, but you can still use all of this ammo in the fight. You do have 56 ammo here. You could just spam shield maybe. I know you don't want to give the Zarya energy, which probably what initiates the reload. So again, not the worst reload. Just just shoot. Just spam something else. Spam the soldier over here. All right, they have Earth Shatter. Oh, beautiful. Okay. I mean, I don't think this was on purpose. I don't think you purposefully blocked the Earth Shatter, but it's so good. So let's look at what convinces the other Reinhardt to Earth Shatter, right? Look at our allied Reinhardt shield. The enemy Reinhardt can see this. He's like, oh, this shield is going to break and I am going to Earth Shatter. That's what the enemy Reinhardt is thinking. 100%, right? So we step in front and we do this. Our Zarya does this because they have a barrier, so they're confident. They feel safe. They've got their whole team here, and they have the shield. By the way, the Zarya player is confirming in chat that this was pure luck, which is again totally fine. But the main thing is, right, if we go back just the one frame, put yourself in the head of the enemy Reinhardt player, right? Like I was saying, if I'm Zarya in this situation and I've been like kind of thinking about ults throughout the game, I'm like, they probably have Earth Shatter. My Reinhardt's shield is about to break. He's probably going to Earth Shatter. So the only different thing I would have done is focus purely on him, right? Because you looked away at the Zarya, and the player has already confirmed, he wasn't looking out for the Earth Shatter. So if we are playing in a fashion that we are looking out for the Earth Shatter, make a beeline at him, get in his face, block his line of sight, make sure he can't see, who's behind you, and then you just have to have that gut feeling of when to barrier to block the shatter and save yourself. So the player already confirmed this is pure luck. It's a really amazing luck at that. Also, I watched this yesterday to just kind of see how it worked in this player, and I saw this barrier you got in the Rhine charge. This barrier is just mind-boggling. How the targeting picked up whoever Rhine charged when you have one, two, three people right here just blew my mind. Like I was like this is an insane barrier. It's such a good barrier because you shielded exactly who Rhine charged, but the fact that either you on purpose picked out who it was or the game managed to throw it on the right person is just just blew my mind. Oh, your Reinhardt's just having such a bad day. Did you see this? So look, your Reinhardt's knocked down from Earth Shatter, and then he gets instantly slept. He can't do anything. It's so unfortunate. Um, okay though, they used. This is gonna be a close one. You're so close to grab. By the way, this is where I recommend using grenade. Right, you're fighting a Zarya who's just non-stop jumping. Right, jump right here, grenade. Jump right here, grenade. Jump right if you rotate around right here, grenade. Oh, you're doing your best. Oh, by the way, that is a good jump. But there was just so many enemies still up. I think you guys only killed one. I mean, it was. By the way, it's hilarious that when you tried to grenade jump up, you killed the Genji. I don't know if anyone saw that. This Genji's body, he was like dashing into you right as you did this, and you killed him. Yeah, definitely. You like use your grenade to knock them into the air, and then so by the way, if you're watching this, the player asked, should you use a grenade on someone when they're jumping and use it where you think they will land? So here's the full like combination in my head. Let's go back to that fight. We grenade, we knock them into the air, we use beam while they're in the air, and then we grenade again when they land. And you just rinse and repeat that combo until they die. I showed in the advanced guide that beam grenade does more damage than just grenade. I can say with confidence that just beam will do more damage than the beam grenade combo. But the main reason why I prefer beam grenade is because the grenade CCs, quote unquote, soft crowd controls the enemy. If she's just jumping nonstop, isn't it easier to track the left click instead of wasting ammo with right click? The thing about right click though is it does a lot of damage and it throws off their aim too. Like it's not just it doesn't just it does help you by giving them predictable pathing. It gives them even more predictable pathing because your grenade knocks them up. Like yeah, she's jumping back and forth here, but I don't usually talk about aim, but if we look in this clip here, we see that you're still struggling a little bit to track her with beam as she's jumping back and forth, right? You're kind of going a little bit too far to the left, a little bit too far to the right, and she kind of does win this duel. Well, you do stop fighting her at one point, but yeah, so we're seeing the issue right there, just a little bit with the aim. So I mean, It's a judgment call for you if you want to beam them down. Like for example, one of the reasons I use grenade in like these 1v1s is because my tracking is it's good, but it's not amazing, if that makes sense. Like I am not like some god at tracking. I'm good tracking. I have like good like I'm let's go with above average tracking with beam, but like at a high level, enemy players just get like insane with their movements and then they're hard to track. So I compensate by I just grenade something to A, do a burst of damage, and B, knock them around, and so I can beam them in their predictable path and then get another burst of damage by grenading where they land, if that makes sense. If you're a god at tracking, it's a different situation. Beam all day. Beam does so much damage. I'd still recommend using grenade to finish off enemies, even if you are a god at tracking. Because it's just so strong. Oh, by the way, like what a tough decision this is for our Zarya. She comes back to the fight. She sees two people knocked down. She's like, "Oh God, which one do I save?" And whichever one is the healer, I think. Okay, Genji died. Oh, they unfortunately both died, but we tried our best. There was nothing more you could do there. You did all the right things, and you came back. You assessed the situation. You barriered a key target. You grabbed their whole team. You rotated through the shield. You shielded yourself for energy. I mean, there was nothing more you could have done there. So again, another good round from our Zarya. The main thing we saw was just that one barrier, which lost them one fight, which kind of killed their momentum. But besides that, again, another really good round. Thanks for sticking around till the end of the video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button on the right hand side, and if you want to see more videos, check out these two on the left. Again, thank you so much for watching and have a good one.